Hello everyone and what's going on? Welcome back to the video. Now today you notice yeah, we're doing a Steamforged Games product. This is a game called Godtear. Now, I don't know a ton about the lore of Godtear. I believe if I remember correctly, it was about like in a world where like pieces of heavenly energy or something have been raining down into the world. It's given rise to different races. I believe I have not checked the lore in a long time. Now, this is made to go with the starter set for the game, so this is an expansion, not the actual God tier itself. I mean, I got this faction because, as you can see, we got some lovely creatures here. We got a lovely sort of fairy fae goddess leading a squad of elementals. We got like some feminine elementals, and we got two big, bulky, male-esque elementals, like bulk style. And I thought they looked good. Now, here we have some detail here. And Lily is the, I guess, leader of this squad for the God tier. Yeah, because we have 5 Thornlings, Lily's banner, which is like a little tiny piece. We'll see that in there in a minute. Profile cards. We also have the Thornlings, which are the name of this. Now, honestly, I could see you using these as a blight. Now, I know they're not thorn blights, but I mean, they are pretty spiky looking in some of their designs. So you could probably use them as like a bark blight, maybe. Or well, actually, kind of like that bark blight. I don't know why, but that sounds kind of cool because the bark is worse than the bite. I don't, man. I'm sorry. That's a moment on me right there, folks. God darn it. Okay. But yeah, this is part of the green faction. I don't know if that's like meaning the forest faction. Like I said, my whole idea of the lore is really off. Like you can see the whole tier crashing. I think this was represent like, yeah, Lily Thornsinger of the Azure Forest and Thornlings. That's the set. I mean, I believe. Just reading that to make sure because I haven't actually not read this box. Yeah, I don't know how this game works with commanders and their minions, but you can obviously bet she's in charge. So let's let the Blade of Opening do its job. Open it up, and we're going to take a look inside and see how awesome these miniatures look. If they're anything like the Dark Souls minis that I got recently, I'm hoping to be pretty impressed. Sorry, before I opened it, I just took the little clear plastic off, the little seal plastic. But this is what the box looks like on the front side. I forgot to do a front shot. So let's let the blade do its job, cut the last of the seals, and we're going to open it and take a look at what's inside. There we are. Got the last of the seal there. It was actually just a single piece of tape. There's another shot of what it looks like on the inside. Got cards, so it's pretty simple. Looks like a lot of fill. I could have made this box a little thinner to... Yeah, it's mostly plastic. I like the box. The box is pretty nice. Nice artwork on there. I know you're probably all like, dang, you're actually showing us this? I was hoping there wouldn't be a lot of noise. Oh, this one's got seals. Hold on a second. Okay, so they are called Shaper Champions. There's the Lily's card right there. I mean, we're not going to go through the cards. Cards are nice and all. I mean, there's a Thorn Blight or Thornling, which I guess you could use as a name. I like the Bark Blight better because it sounded cooler. Or Barkling. I don't know why. Thornling sounds okay, but I guess they could be Thorn Blights. But yeah, we'll save Lily for the end of the minis. But let's get the small one here. Okay, so here is the banner, maybe? I'm sorry, at the moment I'm trying to also go through these cards. I know I'm not reviewing the cards. They're pretty nice artwork, too, and they're pretty nice looking cards for the game. I'll probably keep them in case I ever decide to play God tier. I have a little squad now, but... Yeah, it doesn't say anything about Lily's stuff here, about what those are. Like, it's got her stats card, then her champion card, which I'm not sure how these... Yeah, there's only 3 cards, so it really wasn't worth going over. But I'm assuming this is her banner, maybe? Or what she's about, which is nature. You get a lovely little squirrel on a branch of a small little sapling with, like, a little nest up there with little stones. I mean, it's a nice little nature piece. I mean, I'll probably literally paint this up and use it as a piece of terrain. For maybe a character in group, like if I set that on a table, like, oh yeah, you see a squirrel in a bird's nest. I would legit use it for those exact things. So my group could eat the eggs, or maybe steal the eggs and raise them. Maybe I'll use it like as a way to build up, like, yeah, it's a hawk's nest, and there's just a squirrel nearby. Like DM, I shoot the squirrel with an arrow. Okay, now roll me a hit. You accidentally hit the nest out. 3 of the eggs break, 1 egg is okay. You know, something like type of, almost like the, what is it? The what is it called? It's like that stump monster. Wolf in sheep's clothing thing. Could use it as that, too, where instead it's just, where it's like 2 options of food. Now it attacks your players like, the vines come out and grab and attack. So pretty cool. I like it. It has great detail, too. So here we have the 3 feminine-esque Thorn. I keep wanting to call them something else. Thornlings. And they look pretty cool. Now, it doesn't look like there's any different stats between them and the one male and the bulk male Thornling. Those seem to have like the same stats, so it's literally just, they are all on the same base size, which is a medium base. Literally, if I'm correct, let me just do a quick base to base. Yeah, it's a little bit thinner than a D&D miniature base, but honestly, that's not a problem. We all know the big star of the show is going to be the champion Shaper Lily. I'm hoping she's on a large base. Which, yes, she is on a large base. It's pretty much the same as the D&D large monster base, so we're good there. Once again, little fraction smaller, so if you're not super upset. Now, I like how each of these ones do have different horns. That part I like, because you see that one female has like these sort of sprayed out bull horns. One's got more of the curved bull, and then you got these sort of like antler ones going. Like, that I like. I like how each one's got some different appearance, so they're not all just the same. They have very similar sculpts, so you could easily mistake them. But if I go for the one with the more antler horns. Boom, quick way to differentiate them. So I can give them all the same paint job, paint them quick and easy, and make them look good. Now, let's get to the next of the more unique-esque miniatures. Here we have like the more standard male. It's like he's very simplistic, very similar to females. The big spiky arm attacking spots. He's got horns similar to one of them, but a little more inward. Honestly, kind of reminds me of Nico Bolas there. I honestly just thought that I could use him for Nico Bolas as like Thorn minions or something. Like if you took over a forest, that's what they get, like the curved inward horns of Bolas. It'd be kind of cool. Anyway, but yeah, pretty nice. I like his design. He's a little bit bulkier, a little bit beefier. His legs, on the other hand, still have the whole, like, it's the roots going in the ground, so they don't need to be bulky. I mean, they're going to be simple paint jobs, but they're going to look pretty good. I mean, I like these things. These would be great creatures to attack your players if you enter a Fey forest, or even if you wanted to use them as dark forest creatures. Like, maybe the forest is infected with the evil, and these are what are brought from it. But these would be great for, like, some just lovely elemental guardians or creatures. Really cool. Let's get to the last of the unique Thornlings. Okay, this one I'm just going to call the Brutus Thornling. I mean, look at this guy. He is bulky. It's a plant. It's kind of he and she. It. But, I love this giant sort of bush, mossy cloak on the back. It looks good. You got stuff in there, like little things that you're going to paint up. So, like, when someone looks at me, they're going to go, oh, that's a cool little bit. Maybe this creature has a unique plant that grows on it that the group has to kill it. Or maybe disable it from moving so they can harvest it and then leave it so they don't have to kill it. The group's being pacifist. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I find it funny, this giant bush-esque bruiser attached to the ground with these little tiny legs. Like, they're pretty small for his body. It's kind of that comical, big-bodied little legs joke. It's sort of funny there. I like the branches coming out the back. Those give a nice touch. They help give a little bit like there. You could also have him, like, maybe say for a distance thing, he throws a branch at you, and maybe it doesn't do a ton of damage, but, it can be like it has a special pollen that maybe messes up your concentration. So a player who has to make concentration checks to keep someone levitated or something, it's like, oh no, I dropped my ally. Darn it. Like, simple things that can be used so well to mess up your player's actions, but not in a way where they get mad and want to quit. I love his design. This is a really good design. I love how they're all not exactly the same. That's one thing I like here going with Godtear. And I gotta say, too, these sculpts are really good. Like, Steamforged Games made them really good. Like, I might buy more expansions of this game just because these are such unique miniature files. Like, I don't see these on any of the, like, My Mini Factory where I buy files on occasion. But these are just good. Now let's get to the great leader herself, the Shaper champion. I keep wanting to say like commander, but yeah, the champion of this set. And here she is in all of her splendor and wondrous glory, Lily, the Shaper champion, the touch of the Fae. And that she is even called a Fae is great. Now, I actually was checking on the cards here for the Thornlings. They just say, like, they're just followers of Lily, so maybe there's something she created as a unique thing, so they could be Fae touch creature. Now, with her, I'm just reading on it so if it says anything about her. She does use magic, so she could be a caster. I guess you could use her as a druid-esque character if you want her to be druidic. She does create thorn walls. Okay. She's pretty powerful. I mean, a thorn wall is a pretty unique barrier that your group would have to get around to get to her. I mean, we've all seen what that's done in fairy tales. I love her, like, her look, though. Her look is very, like, look at me, I'm impressive, but at the same time, you're kind of awed by it. Her sculpt is lovely. The wings look great. Honestly, I'm probably going to use my metallic paints just so I can get those scales that have a lovely reflective surface. Now, in her mod or on her art, she's got these lovely like white lines on her body to help, I guess, go with this Druidic features. And honestly, I've seen those somewhere before. Like, there's a character who has the same skin tone, almost same colored hair, in this type. But I can't remember where I've seen a character that looks just like her from somewhere before. Granted, it could be from one of the maybe anime movies about nature or one of the old Ghibli movies maybe or something. I don't know. I might have to look into that. But yeah, she looks awesome. Her sculpt is a very lovely and beautiful sculpt. I'm definitely probably going to give her like light colored and maybe some nature inspired as clothing. Her jewelry is probably going to be maybe golds or silvers. The wings on her in here are not that like colorful. I might change that up and give her some more colorful, less gossamer, like some more colorfully based wings, like maybe on a monarch. I might have to look at some butterflies, or maybe I'll just go random and see what I can get. And she's got like, I love the little butterflies carrying off some of her the tassels. She's not technically standing; she's floating. It's really good. I gotta say, her alone makes this worth it. Now I got this set for $17.99. Not even a whole $20. I don't know if it was on sale by the look of it for a while. Like, it was on sale. It was probably like, I think it was $22.99 normally. So it was like, what, $5 off? That's not too bad. And this is a good set. This would be great for anyone running a Fae campaign, creature campaign, like, you know, or a forest campaign. And they just want to have some cool, lovely mythical creatures or Fae-esque monsters walking around. Maybe it's an ancient forest and they're just, you know, they're helping steward and raise it. It works really good. Now, we've seen the monsters. Let's compare them to some of the other miniatures out there. Okay, so here's Lily next to that onslaught sort of warrior I keep going back to. I don't know why I always go back to this guy or this character. I don't know why, but I just like to use this one for comparison because it's like a human with like some white eye thing going. But yeah, you can see they're in great scale. The base, like I said, is a slight hair shorter than 50 or the 28 millimeter of the bases. But that's not bad. These elementals, they stand if you got rid of the rock they're standing on, because that's just for lovely base dressing, which I don't mind minis that come with pre-done base dressing. That makes a less effort for me on my part if I want to add anything. If I do or not, of course. But on Lily's there, I'm honestly going to add more. When I get done painting her thing, I'm not going to color her base. I'm going to keep that green because I like to keep some of the original colors of the bases. I've learned to kind of like that because it helps me kind of remember where they came from. But yeah, I'm probably going to definitely give her base a little dressing on that rim there, because you can see there's a rim where her base dressing ends. The other ones, I'm not going to worry about it because they're just simple. They're simple minion level creatures. Maybe they could be helpful NPCs in a forest campaign where you're trying to help the forest. Then it gets you access to see Lily there, and she gives you some amazing gift. You know, but yeah, it works great. Let's compare them to some larger creatures so we get some more variance or variation going. Here she is next to my lovely Simone Miniatures Drider. I don't know why I like to use her too, but probably because I really like this paint job on her. Here she is chilling out next to her. And you know, honestly, basically because she's not a normal Drider drow where it's like in the Underdark, evil looking. Because yeah, she does have heads on the back, but maybe those are people who've wronged the forest. Maybe she's an ally to Lily that you have to deal with. Like maybe she's gone corrupt or she's gone evil. But let's compare to that other elemental, or two other elementals to see how they look. And then maybe a creature or two. Yeah. So now I just kind of decided to put them all on there to see them like kind of sit around the whatever mini I put them on. And you can see them sitting next to what I like to call the Boulder Fist elemental. And you can see they look pretty. They could easily work together. Granted, he's not as humanoid. He's more bruiser creature. Even bigger than the brute monster there. But he is large. And maybe he would be like a siege beast. So, like, if a town is encroaching too far or a camp of enemies are needing to be taken care of, they call in the Boulder Fist, and it comes in and just starts clobbering, crushing, and destroying the enemy to say, get out of our village. Like, maybe the big bruiser there would go in first, be slightly diplomatic with, like, a little threatening, and then if it's too much, it's time to bring in the big guns here. Time to bring in the big crush, the big smashers here to take out their encampments or their towns they're building and just get rid of them. Whether it comes to violence and bloodshed or, they can peacefully talk them out. He works great with them. And I think once they're painted, they'll blend in better with him too, which I kind of want to keep him there. Like, he'd be an awesome creature for her to call upon as, like, a defender. Because this creature, even though he is large, he actually has huge class carrying capacity. Like, this guy's strength levels and stuff go into huge size. He's just large because of his personal size. So, yeah. But let's compare him to some another elemental than the beast here, too. Okay, so here we kind of going away from the earth, like the forest elemental. Here we are going up against, like, an earth elemental that has been, branded for battle. I don't know why I use the Rune Wars Golem here a lot. I just like to... There's Golem. I don't know why I use this Rune Wars Golem a lot, but you can see, yeah, they work great next to him on a board, too. They'd be great factionary army, because I know there is the elves, and they use, like, giant deer and some, like, elemental-esque looking creatures. This would be a cool, like, group that you could use to bolster them. Sorry, I'm going to say bolster. I know I said bolster. That was weird. But, yeah, you could use it to buff them up and make them stronger, where they have some, like, just elemental Fey monsters to help out their fellow Fey elflings. Something like that. Could you use these things in 40k? The universe is vast. 40k, it's going to be hard because we all know nature gets clapped by technology. It just happens. Yes, technology can reclaim, but, nature uses fire and explosives and all that crap. And it's hard to have anything kind of go up against Space Marines because we know how the certain people, they know who they are. I'm not going to give out descriptions too much, but yeah, they're... one Astartes could destroy everything. Yeah, okay. True. You throw in fantasy, though, and they get wrecked because, science cannot explain everything. Anyway, though, yeah, these are great for any fantasy game you could be using, or even, like, a unique group of enemies, or even allies or NPCs. I don't see that being a problem. But, yeah, I think I'm going to stop comparing. I think we've compared enough here. We're getting to the point that they'll work for everything. They're very multi-useful. If you don't want to use them for God tier and you just want some cool creatures to add to your inventory as an option, I would definitely recommend it. The price is not bad on them. Like I said, I got mine for $17. And then I had, like, a 5% off coupon extra, so, like, it knocked off a lot of the sales tax. So I was like, dang. I was like, for a cool Fey-looking lady who has a beautiful sculpt and some cool, awesome Thornlings to add to my... plant army group, why not? Now, this would also be useful too. I do have a fungal queen, which actually, I am going to compare her to my fungal queen because they're near the same size. There we are. So yeah, speaking of my fungal queen, I actually use her as a Zugtamoy replacement because I don't have a Zugtamoy, and I kind of like where I went. I love how I did all that flocking on the base to give all these little spots and, like, the shield on there and stuff. She's got this lovely sculpt. And honestly, you could use these as, like, say, the two queens of the forest. Maybe one rules the darkness, where the fungus likes to grow. The fungal part of the Fey of, like, some... let me think of a good fantasy name. Enchirian Woods. And maybe she rules the fungal side in the mushroom forest area, where there are still trees, there are still plants, but fungus and mushrooms grow here greatly. And more fungal creatures are here, like fungal boars, fungal cows even. Fungal snakes, stuff like that. And she maybe rules the more Fey side where it's more about life and the sun, more glowing nature, like more of the mosses and the non-funguses. Stuff like that. Simple, but it could be a whole entire campaign built right around these two characters. Because I got her, and you just got to get peace. Boom. Small campaign, but it could work. Well, I think I've gone on long enough. It's been great. I'm grateful you guys have got this far in the video. I thank you once again. Make sure that you do hit that like and subscribe button. I know it's small clicks for you guys, but for me, it means a lot. I thank you. As always, guys, do check out our podcast with Dice Dummies. This is where we use these miniatures on the tabletop for our D&D sessions. We are live streaming. Once again, I'm going to say it again. We live stream. We do it so you get to see us in person with the video, with our cameras. We're always improving. I mean, we just got done building our Leprechaun table. So that way we can all game together and enjoy it, have fun. And I mean, you know, if you guys want to join it, tune into the chat. So if you want to throw out a question or, you know, maybe try to do a debate while we play, we might take a break and answer the question / debate, then get back to the game. It's fun. It is fun. Now, anyway, guys, hope to see you there. Hope you keep coming back to the channel for the next video. As always, have a great one and see y'all next time. Bye-bye.